Hello everyone, welcome to the Science Classroom. Today I'm going to teach you the first chapter of science in Karnataka State Syllabus SSLC. We have first chapter of chemistry called as Chemical Reaction and Equation. So first, before moving to further, let us understand what is chemical reaction. A chemical reaction is a process where one or more substances is converted into one or more other substances. In other words, I can say it's a process where one or more substances, that is a reactant, is converted into one or more other substances, that is product. So we have a reactant and we have a product in any chemical reaction. Now this chemical reaction, when you present it in the form of a symbol, this is called as chemical equation. Means a symbolic representation of any chemical reaction is called as chemical equation. Any symbolic representation of chemical reaction is called as chemical equation. To write any chemical reaction, there are certain rules to be followed. First, all the substances which are written in left hand side, they are called as reactant, and the substances which is written on right hand side, they are called product. So whatever I write it on my left hand side is called as reactant, and whatever we get it on the right side, that is called as product. Between reactant and product, we use arrow mark. Like for example, hydrogen combined with oxygen to give you water, means H and O, hydrogen and oxygen. These are written on the left hand side, so these two are called as reactant. And after this arrow mark, whatever I have written here is called as product. Since this chemical equation is not balanced, but right now we are not focusing on balancing the equation, we will learn it little later. Presently, let us understand what is reactant and what is product. Reactant are the substances which undergo reaction. Product are the substances which we get it after reaction. So this is before reaction and this is after reaction. One more we have, like zinc react with H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, to give you zinc sulfate, ZnSO4 plus H2. You can see here there are so many substances written before and after the arrow mark. Whatever it is written before the arrow mark, that is on our left hand side is considered as reactant, and whatever we write after the arrow mark on our right hand side is considered as product. I hope now you have understood reactant and product. So between the reactant and product we write this arrow mark. This arrow mark indicates this reaction has taken place and we get this product. To separate these two we use this arrow mark. Now next, this is our first step. Second step, while writing any chemical equation, you have to understand which states of matter these substances are. Basically, we have three states of matter called solid, which we use the symbol called S, liquid L, gaseous or gas G. So which, like zinc, is in solid form, so we write it S. H2SO4 is the acid which is in liquid form, we write it L. Zinc sulfate again in liquid form, and hydrogen in a gaseous form. So this is how we can write a chemical equation in second step. Now moving on to the third step. Any condition during the reaction can be written above or below arrow mark. Like if a reaction has to be heated, like for example something which needs to be heated, like magnesium react with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. Hence it has to be heated, so you can use here heat condition or this arrow mark, this symbol. So any condition can be written above or below this arrow mark. Then next we have, if the product is formed in a gaseous form and it is liberated, so we use the arrow mark, upward arrow mark, like this, up, liberated. If we get it in a precipitate form, then we write it as below arrow mark, down arrow mark, upward and downward arrow mark. So this is how, in a simple way, we can write any chemical equation. Very important, very important. Here you should know the symbols. If you know the symbols, you can write any type of equation by following these simple rules. So before moving it to further, let's briefly understand what we have learned in today's class. We have learned what is chemical reaction. So it's a process where one or more substances, that is reactant, is converted into one or more other substances, that is product. Now this reaction, if you write it in a symbolic form, that is symbolic representation of chemical reaction, is called as chemical equation. To write any chemical equation, we need to follow certain rules. So first rule, in any chemical equation, we have LHS and RHS, that is left hand side and right hand side. Whatever substance you write on left hand side, they are considered as reactant, and whatever you write on right hand side, it is considered as product. Between reactant and product, we use arrow mark. So we have given a simple equation. Now moving on to next. So second is, we have three states of matter: solid, liquid and gases. So when you write the equation called like product and reactant, you need to mention which states of matter they are, whether they are solid like zinc S, sulfuric acid in liquid L, gaseous G. Then last we have is any conditions during the reaction, you can write above or below this arrow mark. Like I have used a simple equation where magnesium ribbon react with oxygen to give magnesium oxide when you will heat it. So heat is a condition, simply you keep it react actually but very late, and you don't find it so much visible product. Then next we have is, if there is any gaseous product is formed, then and it is liberated, so we use upward arrow mark, means liberated. And similarly, if we got any precipitate, we use downward arrow mark. Now one thing I have to say you, if there is one or more substances, when there is more substances, we use this plus symbol. See here, we have used plus symbol. Whether it is reactant or product, we get more than one substances, we use this plus symbol. And as I have said you can write any type of chemical equation following these rules, but one thing should be noted down is you need to know the symbols of elements. So whatever it is there in a periodic table, if you remember the symbols, you can easily write any type of chemical equation. And that's all for today. Continue with the next class in next session. Thank you one and all.